Hello and good day all, this is the Helium29 back again for some indie comic reviews, and in these indie comic reviews I'll be covering Assorted Crisis Events, Issue 7 and Endeavour, Book 2. I'll now get things ready and organised for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? It certainly does, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art, to which we'll have a look around the beginning, the middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we are introduced to this main character, and of course we see that he has, I'm not too sure what I'm understanding here in the story, is that there are some things that this character might be guilty of, but what exactly is he guilty of here? Because we also see a like an ice cream shop or something like that called Guilty Pleasures. Of course, we meet Mr. Papa Giorgio, who is someone who he knows, and as his life continues within the story, we see him basically dealing with dead doppelgangers of himself. And it's a little bit unsure as to what is actually causing these doppelgangers. And of course, like all things, he tries to get rid of all these doppelgangers that are of him but also dead. And it's just a living nightmare for the person. Of course, the character's name is Tom, but for my rating for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the story rating, which consists of time, location, and cast. Of course, starting with the area of time, was there anything time-wise? No, there wasn't. Next is the location. Of course, we got to see the ice cream shop. I guess his main location where he lived, a landfill as well. Last but not least, the cast of characters consisting of Tom, Mr. Papa Giorgio, and Mr. I wrote it terribly. Whatever the third character was, it starts with a H. I think it's Hornus or something like that. My overall rating for this particular issue is a 6.5 out of 10. Where I think some previous issues they've been a little bit higher. So now it's time to move into Endeavour Book 2. So as we move into Endeavour Issue 2, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside the story? It certainly does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, the middle, of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as we move into the beginning of the story, it is actually nice to see the whole cast of characters that take place or that have roles in this particular story. And of course we get to see some of the things that relate to sort of like the present day in the story, to advancing days within the story, as well as a bit of a flashback too. So within the story, they are now having to deal with death that is taking place on the boat. And of course, as time goes by, no one really seems to know how to run the boat. We do get a bit of a flashback to 1770 until we move back into the present again with the main cast of characters. My overall rating for the internal art is a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the story rating. So first things first, was there anything time-wise? Sure enough, there was. Day 1, Day 9, the year 1770, and of course, Day 13. Next is the location. Of course, this is all taking place on the ship called the Endeavour. And last but not least, the cast of characters, to which we have Victoria, Roy, Carson, Emily, Nikhil, Isaac, and Nora. My overall rating for this story is a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.